Hello and welcome back. While you've been away, I've been busy. So, first of all, the trains here now have 2 booms on them, which speeds them up getting in. First of all, means they can fill up the artillery at the outpost quicker, and secondarily means that they... Why is that one not moving? Oh, grief. Let's have a look. Maybe it's stuck in manual. Yeah, stuck in manual. Okay. So first of all means that they can use one of these 2 artilleries to carry munitions for the stationary artillery, which is great. They can carry 100 rather than a wagon which carries, well, not very many. 40, 41, 42, I don't know, I can't work it out. So that's cool. The second thing is the production of shells was still quite low. Basically, this machine kept going red. It's gone red here. And the reason it's gone red is because it's waiting on explosives. Okay. So, why is he waiting on explosives? Because our explosive production rate was not up to scratch. So what I've been doing is increasing the production rate of explosives. Now, we are now producing a full red belt of explosives. Let's run up here. I think we may need to even improve that. So it's a half belt. So it's coming in here. All right. So I think what we need now is a full blue belt of explosives. So let's upgrade that while we're here. We'll do 1 upgrade at a time. So let's grab some blue stuff. So this is really where the original factory was set up to produce all the stuff we needed to get to launching rockets at the rate that was needed to launch the rockets. And now that we're using the factory to do other things as well, it didn't have sufficient overcapacity. So I never considered we'd have to produce, you know, a ridiculous quantity of... Whoa! A ridiculous quantity of shells. So there was no provision to produce loads of explosives for shells. Okay, so there we are. So we're just going to chase this backwards. Okay, and you have to make sure everything in the link is upgraded, otherwise something is a bottleneck. I'm really tempted by the Belt Immunity mod, but it kind of feels like a mod too far for me, just slightly not vanilla enough. Don't know why. Don't know why I should have that kind of scruples. Right. Obviously the move after this would be to go to double-sided belt, but that would require moving various things around. There we are. Okay. So, how are we doing now? Okay, we are producing a full blue line. Goodness me. Let's see how this settles down over time. Okay, let's run up. So this is coming in as a full blue line now. And this is now running, and it's the shells that it's waiting on. Okay, and what are the shells short of? Plastic. Okay, so let's see what the issue here is with plastic. Okay, we have a very simple plastic machine here. Okay, so first of all, let's replace the inserter on this side with a stack inserter, just so that we're guaranteed it's being fed. Okay, then let's ask how much these two are needing. So they need 5.6 plastic per second. And this is producing 5.0. Okay, so that's our problem. So the fix is to put in more beacons. Let's go down here. And to do that, we're going to have to make some room. Right, let's do a corresponding big jump. Okay, so what is the speed now? 6.6, so that exceeds our 5 point something. And it still fits on one side of the belt. Okay. And that's running. Slightly low on coal. Yeah, so this seems to be having trouble picking up the far side of the belt. I'm wondering if we can maybe fix that by using a... Alright, so my inventory is now full of rubbish. Explosives can be auto-trashed. I really don't need those. Similarly, I don't need sulfur. Okay. So if we set this to coal, hopefully that's going to do a better job of only looking on the far side of the belt. I have no idea, to be honest. Yeah, the stalling must be it looking at the belt to decide which lane to pick up from. Okay, we have a piece of coal there which isn't helping. Anyway, that's gone now. Right, this machine is upset. I think probably the fix is stack inserters. Okay, and what is this stalling on? Iron plates, of course. However, the important thing isn't whether it's stalling, it's whether it's backing up, and it is. So it's running fast enough. Okay, the plastic is coming in at full speed. This is still waiting on the explosives. This is still having trouble getting the plastic in fast enough. Can we put a third one of those inserters? Okay, see if that helps. Right, anyway, so we now produce, I don't know, there's a lot more I can do to fine tune this. Let's head down here. So our explosive build was ridiculous. And it looks like it's not moving at full speed, so I don't feel very good trimming it. However, I think we can safely take the last 3 machines off. Okay. And that will take off the last 3 beacons. Okay, I think that's pretty safe, right? And we'll come back and successively trim that back as we go. Okay, back up here. This looks like it's running not too badly now. The only thing I could do to this build to further improve it would be to have 3 machine, no, because this is still stalling. So it's definitely a plastic issue. We are somehow not quite getting enough plastic in. We are taking in a full yellow line. Okay, so the obvious thing here is to upgrade this to red. I don't need 50 red undergrounds. Okay. How's this doing? Brilliant. So we're now backed up on plastic. What can I trash that I seem to have too much of? Get rid of some beacons, guns, lasers, static artillery. Don't need artillery wagons or logistics bots. Okay, no doubt I will miss those later. Okay, how's the plastic doing now? Yep, so we are now... Spoke too soon. How are we doing? I think this has done it. Brilliant. So we're now producing max rate calculator. We are producing 0.75 rounds a second, which is pretty good. Okay, what next? Okay, so this steel line is not fully compressed, which is fine. It was originally ratioed to not be fully compressed. Let's go into map mode. All right, so we go down here. It's getting a bit thinner, getting a bit thinner, getting a lot thinner. Right, so this is backed up. This is okay. And where else is steel used? Okay, so steel goes up into this build here. Oh, we've got some circuits in the bricks. Let's go drain that off because that's not going to be helping. Okay. Okay, so this all seems to be producing at whatever speed it can, which is fine. There was a steel problem a few minutes ago where we didn't have enough steel going through. But we don't seem to anymore. I was about to put down a new steel smelting thing. I think I'll start putting that down anyway so that it's around. So, I had this blueprint which I had made earlier, which is for copper smelting, but I think we can adjust it for steel by putting 2 of these, one behind the other. So if we put this going out that way, and then put one coming back the other, let's leave it with 2 clocks for now because I can't be bothered to work it out. Okay, let's put that in. So first thing I want to do is this should be outputting a steel rather than a copper, because I want it to be producing steel plate. Then this one up here should be outputting steel plate, because that's the output. And the timer here is set to 75, but steel takes 5 times as long, so 5 75s, I should be able to do that in my head. Um, 575, we've got a 25 there, 35, so 375. Okay. So then the other thing that needs changing is these are filter right on copper. This needs to be changed to filter right on iron. Okay, and then similarly here, filter right on copper, this needs to be changed to steel. Okay, so fingers crossed, this means we take in some ore and put out a steel line. And it won't be it'll be presumably 1/5. Okay. So what splitter is this? This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8 outputs. So I can replace this 8, 7 with an 8, 8 and make it blue. There we go. And my book of balances, 8, 8. There we go. Yeah, there's not enough room here, is there? Okay, let's fix it the other way. Okay. And rip up this one. Get rid of that. That was a bit of a mistake. Okay, so fingers crossed. Is this working? So ore is going in, plates are coming out, plates coming out. Yep. Plates going over the top, feeding back in. And steel is coming out. We have steel. Okay, it's not anything you could pretend to be a full line, but I think we can safely merge it in here. Okay, how are we doing for coverage? Because I've got a feeling this may be just outside. Yeah, it is. That's why it hasn't built. So let's do that. Great, so this should now be built by the base. It is ridiculous how much material you have to put in to steel to get it to produce anything. Alright, so let's merge that in. So that should mean we now have a full belt of steel. And this is a fairly simple build, so we can just stamp down another one of these. It takes a line of iron and replaces it with a very partial belt of steel. Okay, so we're now backed up on, are we fully compressed on steel? So we've got gaps here still. So let's upgrade from here to blue, see if that fixes the problem. Yeah, that fixes it. The reason this works is I've got a blue splitter, so it can take through more than the capacity of the two reds that are coming in. It's then putting that out on two separate red belts, which are then being merged into a single blue belt. So there's more capacity on these two belts than on here. I don't need to replace these side bits. So we still have the occasional gap. Let's check up here. All right, so this is never backed up. Okay. Let's click on this. Okay, so that made 8 and then put out 8, which is what is supposed to happen. I think we just don't have all the speed beacons, which is what's holding it back. Cool. So that's quite nice. I'm tempted to put down a few more of those, but I won't right now. We're getting more steel, which is, you know, the name of the game. Okay, so what's going on here? This is on manual. Wow, and everything is fully stocked up. Wonderful. That's never happened before. Okay, so let's take a zoom out. The wall has now shot and cleared this whole area, which is pretty amazing. So what I'll be doing off camera is growing this wall further. As I do, those ammo trains will be coming along to fill everything up. And then you can see the size of this area, which is cleaned out by the turrets. Once I've brought this down further, what I'm going to do is eyeball how wide this is, and then quickly run a train across. And it's going to be a train that I load up with as many booms as I can get charged. And it is just going to clean out a strip of land as I run the train tracks horizontally. I will have minimal defenses. It's just going to be a question of laying, shooting, laying, shooting, laying, shooting to get all the way across the map as quickly as possible. I may put down a strip of lasers with me that either side of the track. That might be what's necessary to defend myself. And that's the entire plan. I may even lay the track in front of the train and then rip it up behind it, which I know is a bit cheaty, but will work. So that the idea is just to clear out the space. I might stick in a stationary artillery on these sort of central squares to make sure that if I've missed anything, it's kept down. Anyway, so we've achieved what I wanted to do today. We've put some extra steel in. We have optimized the production of everything necessary to make shells. And the factory appears worryingly backed up. Let's just head back over here. Okay, what are we waiting on currently? So there's no research happening because there's no rocket being launched. There's no rocket being launched because we are out of red circuits. We're out of red circuits because they are going into module production. We have a full blue line of red circuits coming in here. Yeah, and we're just peeling too many off for module production. So I'm wondering if we can improve things a bit by extending this. We may just be shifting the problem around, but it's worth a try. Yeah, so this is very empty by here. So where are they going? Some are going north, some are going south. So the temptation at this point is to put in a second line of reds. This is a full blue line of reds being produced from this build. And if we look down, the bottom cassette here is not running. Yeah, so we have a backed up issue here. Let's get out of the way because I'm stuck on. So we're producing a full blue here. Yeah, definitely a full blue. And this backbone appears to be backed up, which is just weird. So anyway, that's what I need to try and figure out now. I'm not very happy with that. I would much prefer there to be lots of emptiness here. But anyway, that appears to be what's going on. I will take a look at this offline, and possibly we need a second line of red circuits now that we're using them for serious module production and for other things. That's going to require a bit of a jiggled around build, I think. This is not by any stretch optimized. We may even be able to just juggle this to bring out a second blue line of reds from this current build. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you again soon.